Hello and welcome to the Sun Today, 26th of April, 2011. I'm Alex Young, sitting in for Dr. Keith Strong. Currently, the solar activity has remained very low. Over the past 24 hours, we've had no C, M, or X-class flares. For sunspots, we still have three main groups on the solar disk. Sunspot 1193 and 1198 have both rotated off the west limb. 1197 and 1196 have remained relatively constant, while 1195 has actually grown slightly. Also, the unnamed sunspot group in the north central part of the disk has grown some more, and we're still waiting for sunspots around the east limb to rotate onto the solar disk. If we look at the magnetic field and continuum data, we can see that there is relatively little change. However, you can see the unnamed sunspot group in the north growing. And if you look at the magnetic data, you can see 1195 growing as well as the new region. If we look at data from the Solar Dynamics Observatory, the AIA instrument, for the 304, 171, and 193 angstrom wavelengths, this is giving us a view of 60,000 Kelvin, 600,000 Kelvin, and 1 million Kelvin material from the solar disk. We can see, besides the large prominence eruption in the north in the 304 a couple of days ago, there really isn't a lot of prominent activity. However, we can always see lots of little things going on. If we move over to the SOHO spacecraft, we can look at the C2 coronagraph, and towards the end of the movie on the east limb, you can see a small coronal mass ejection as well as one in the south. If we go back to the 304 angstrom, we can look towards the end of the movie and see the prominence material that's erupting and produces the first CME that we saw on the east limb in the LASCO instrument. There you go, right there where the green arrow is. Moving on to look at the entire sun in the corona, we can again see the bright active regions moving around, not yet rotating onto the visible disk, but we expect to see them in the next day or so. Auroral activity is still relatively low, as well as the KP index is between 0 and 2. However, there is a coronal hole, which is a region of open magnetic field where fast solar wind can stream out. This can sometimes interact with the Earth's magnetosphere, producing aurora. So those of you at high latitudes, keep your eyes out over the next couple of days for the possibility of auroral activity. To conclude, the current conditions, the sunspot number is down to 67, X-ray background is at B3, the radio sun flux is down at 112 solar flux units, solar wind is down slightly at 414 kilometers per second, KP is between 0 and 2 and quiet, though again the solar wind may increase slightly and the KP may go up if we do see some activity from the high-speed solar wind stream. Forecasts, we still have a possibility of C flare, very low chance of M or X-class flares. We still might see some CMEs, and though the geomagnetic storm activity is probably going to be low, we may see a slight elevation due to high-speed solar wind. Thank you, and we will see you again tomorrow for the Sun Today.